coming home to your tender, sweet loving. You're my one and only woman. The world needs a bitter taste in my mouth, girl. You're my only one that I want. Wanna be around. Wanna be around, girl. Wanna be around, girl. Wanna be around. Hey guys, today we're going to look at Coming Home by Leon Bridges. The song came out in I think like 2015, but it's still such a very, very good song, and I really love it. And it's pretty simple, but it sounds cool on acoustic guitar, so I thought I'd go over it with you today. So this is really two parts. There's like a bridge and a chorus, or excuse me, a verse and a chorus, and that's basically it. And so let me show it to you. So we're going to start actually with the very beginning of the song plays the chorus chords through. But we'll just start with the verse and then the chorus, and you can use that as your intro when you get to the chorus. Okay, so the verses are literally just two chords. It's baby, 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 and then you just go back and forth between those two chords. Pretty common for like kind of soul music to just have a couple of chords, but it just sounds so good together. So this is in the key of F sharp, so we're going to use our F sharp chord. Now I am doing it kind of this way so that I can do some pinky playing, but we'll do it two ways. So you use your thumb to wrap around, and you grab the second fret of the low E string. Then you use your pointer finger to bar the second fret of the high E and the B string. Your middle finger is going on the third fret of the G, and your ring finger is going to go on the fourth fret of the D string. So you've got, okay, and then it just lets you slide down to our next chord. But before we get there, you could just do it with a regular bar chord, okay, which is where you bar everything on the second fret. You put your middle finger on the third fret of the G, your ring finger on the fourth fret of the A, and your pinky on the fourth fret of the D. It's fine if you want to do it that way. But what this allows you to do, if you do it like this, you can throw your pinky down a couple of times whenever you feel like it on that fourth fret of the D and hammer on, pulling off to the third fret of the D, right? Excuse me, the G string. Okay, so then your second chord is a G sharp minor. And what that looks like is you can do it one of two ways. You can do it using your thumb, which is you wrap your thumb around, you grab with your thumb the fourth fret of the G string, or excuse me, the fourth fret of the low E, it's a G sharp note. Then you're going to bar from the D all the way to the high E strings with your pointer finger on the fourth fret. And then you're just going to use your ring finger here to grab the sixth fret of the D string. Now I like to do it on this one because sometimes you just want to get a little funky with it. You can also hammer on to the sixth fret of the G string and pull off, and do some hammer-ons to the sixth fret of the D string as well. But you can also bar it, which is just barring the entire fourth fret with your, from E to E with your pointer finger, and then you just use your ring finger on the sixth fret of the A, and then your pinky finger goes on the sixth fret of the D. So either way you want to do it. That's the verses. And on the right hand, what I'm doing here is I'm using my thumb to pluck the bass note, and then you're just kind of like raking it. You go. And what you can kind of do to get a kind of cool bass line going there, you do open E, and then you start with your F sharp chord. You go open E into the second fret of the low E, and then open E into the fourth fret of the low E. Gives a cool little bass line. So you get that. Baby, 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 I'm coming home to your tender, sweet loving. You're my one and only woman. Alright, so it's just that. Over and over again. Okay? Then we get to the chorus when you just keep saying, I want to be around girl, I want to be around girl, right? It's just 4 chords. So we've got our F sharp. Now this is why I like to use these so I can use my pinky here. So we got our F sharp that we just learned. We're going to take that same shape for F sharp and slide it all the way up to the 9th fret. This is going to be a C sharp. Alright, and what that is, you know, what you got here, you're going to have your thumb on the low E string of the 9th fret. You're going to bar with your pointer finger the B and the high E of the 9th fret. Middle finger's going on the G string of the 10th fret, and then your pointer finger is going to go on the 11th fret of the D string. Now this is why I like to do this one, because right before you switch to the next chord, you can use your pinky to hammer on to the 11th fret of the G and pull off real quick back to the 10th fret of the G, and use that as kind of like a transition to our next chord, which is the same shape. You just slide everything down 2 frets to the 7th fret, because that's a B, and then it is an E flat minor, which is where you bar everything from the A to the low E with your pointer finger. Put your middle finger on the 7th fret of the B string, your ring finger on the 8th fret of the D string, and your pinky finger on the 8th fret of the G string. So that's what your right hand's doing. So it's again plucking that. You pluck the root note, go down 1. It's a little different on the 2nd chord on that C sharp, because I'm plucking the root note and then I'm strumming a couple of times because I want to get that. And I'm strumming once on the B string. And then with the E flat minor chord you got there, you're going to pluck on the A string rather than the low E. You just want to kind of pick those out. And then you go back. And there you go. So that's the whole song. Pretty simple. It's one of those that if you can play the chords with your thumb wrapping around, it allows you to do a little bit more, but it's not necessary. You can play just regular bar chords. I think if you watch Leon Bridges, I'm pretty sure, I had to check me on this one, I'm pretty sure he just plays regular bar chords throughout the song. Either way, it sounds good. So, hope you found this helpful. Let me know in the comments below.